Hello, everybody out there in video land. How are you today? Let's get our radio guys going. And then we'll be all set. Okay. I think we're all set. Let's see now. What's going on? We should be okay. But I'm not seeing really good levels in my radio here. So, let me change plugs. Come on, let's get it going here. Let's get it into a good system. Let's plug her in and get her. There you go. Okay. Okie dokie. Now we're talking. All right. Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada, in the studios of 4680Q. And it sounds like I'm in a tin can, and I'm not sure why. But you're probably fine on the video side. You're probably fine on the video side. It sounds like a tin can on the radio. I'm not sure why. Who knows? I never know. It's always an adventure when I step into the studio. Although I do know one thing: my video is going fine. And here we are today. It's man, what a day! This is a chilly day out there. Holy crap! I'm sitting there going 41 degrees. Are you kidding me? Who turned off the heat? And who ordered this? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. So today's version of Your City, Your Voice is coming to you live as usual from the studios of 4680Q. And glad to be here with you today. Of course. If I didn't say it, my name is Paul K. Lemire, and I encourage everybody to check out the video and subscribe to the video channel. We're at around 68, 70 now. I'd like to get to 100 before the end of the year. Subscribe to the video, and we may have a new sponsor coming aboard even. So things are rolling right along here on Your City, Your Voice. And hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up, thumbs down. Give some comments. It's always great to get comments, and we get into some really, really good conversations, and that's a good thing. We should be talking about everything, and that includes the city council, the budget, different departments. I had a great conversation online with Gary Wilkins about the fire department. And I'm going to get into that a little bit later on. And, okay, I see. I'm wondering why it sounds like a tin can on the radio. That's why it sounds like a tin can on the radio. Because the wrong microphone is plugged into the wrong outlet. And now I've just lost the stereo on the equipment here. Oh, I think we need some cleaning. Here because now we're only running in mono here. So, good thing I'm a tech, right? No, I'm not a tech. I don't know anything about it. I'm just doing what I have to do to get the show going. But I know everybody on the video is fine. So, you're going to see it live and in color on YouTube later on this afternoon. I was posted. But let's get to my sponsors first. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And, you're looking outside now and we see this weather out there. And we're going, uh-oh, it's coming. And there even have been some flurries predicted. So, it's coming and you want to make sure your car is taken care of. Get it down to see Ken Hunter at Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And I guarantee you he's going to take it in. He's going to check your fluids, your brakes. He's going to do everything for you. Throw it on the computer, give it a scan, look for error codes, and get you going. Because you know what? The last thing you want to do is have a broke down car on the coldest day of the year waiting for CAA to come in. Because that's when it happens, right? That's when it happens. It's inevitable. So get it down there. He's going to check out everything. He's going to repair what needs to be repaired and get you through the winter trouble-free. That's what you want. If you get in a wreck, don't worry about it. Take your car down to see Wild Bill. at on Oakwood Drive, because you know what? He's got a full body shop. Ken Hunter got a full body shop. He's going to get your car in, get it out in showroom condition. You'll be happy, and believe me, your car will be happier with a nice oil change and everything else. Safety first, safety first. Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop on Oakwood Drive by the Kia dealership. Get down there today. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And I thank everybody for tuning in and supporting our sponsors. So I was talking about the conversation about the fire department with Gary Wilkins. We had a great conversation, and of course, you know, the fire department is sacrosanct in most cities. They can't be touched. Whatever they say they need, they get, and nobody really questions them. We saw what happened with them when they wanted to move the dispatch to St. Catharines, who takes care of 27 different departments around Ontario. The dispatcher with modern technology, you don't have to be right in the city to know the city and know where everything is, because we have Google Maps and Google Street View, and it'll tell you exactly where addresses are, and it'll show you them, so you know if you're dealing with a 1-story, 2-story. So the technology has overcome the need for the dispatch to be in the city. And at the end of the day, the fire chief goes down to the site of the fire. He assesses the situation, and then he calls for what he needs, whether it's a ladder, whether it's emergency, another pumper, whatever the situation is. It doesn't matter. He calls for it as needed. So, you know, at that thing, like, we could have moved it. What happened? We could have saved $250,000, another $700,000 or $800,000 on capital costs, because the equipment we have is obsolete, and we need all new equipment to be able to dispatch properly. Instead of doing that, we could have just sent it to St. Catherine, saved $250,000 a year on the program. But you know, the fire department leaned on our city council, and that was the end of it. That was the end of it. It stayed in town. But this is the kind of thing. And when you look at the fire department, and Gary had some valid points, when you need them, they're there, and rescues and everything else, and they should be charging for rescues. But when you look at the numbers, and you look at the number of calls versus the number of actual fire calls. Fire calls make up 1 or 2% of all the calls the fire department does, which means 98% are other calls, such as attending in a medical emergency. An EMS is needed, and they send out the rescue one or whatever first. Firefighters get there first and leave when the EMS gets there, or filling in case there's not enough EMS to go around. You know, they're always in with the first responders, even though really they that should be EMS's job, but we don't have enough EMS or whatever. And when you get down to the budget, this is where it becomes dicey, because firemen make about twice as much as an EMS. So you got 130 firefighters, and half of them are doing more EMS calls than anything. Then maybe we need more EMS. Now, I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying this is true at all. I don't know. But what I'm saying is a complete audit of the fire department should be done, because last year they wanted over $3 million for a new fire truck. This year they want $1.2 million for a new rescue unit. And you know, every department wants everything brand new, of course. Let's face it, that's what they want. They want everything new. If they could get it every 5 years, they replace everything. We don't have that kind of money. We're in tough times. City council demands from the not from the fire department, but from Jason Burgess, the CAO, to find $1 million. And he goes through the budget looking for money. And of course, the number one department that sucks the most money out of our budget is the fire department. To the tune of maybe, I don't know, I have to look at it this year, maybe $30 million. We come down to the operating budget, right? And I think it's part of fiscal responsibility to take all departments and break them down and find out exactly where we're spending our money and what's going on. So, yeah, Gary's got some good points, and it was a great conversation. And everybody should be looking into the numbers for the fire department and what we spend on it, because it is a lot. And I don't know, like, you know, when you look at the 1.2 million, I talked about this a little bit on Tuesday. the 1.2 million for the fire department. Well, you say, do we need that new emergency vehicle? What are the costs, the expenses on it that the department is saying are so high that we should get a new one? It's not worth fixing it. And I don't know what the right number is. Like, what percent of the 1.2 million should we be spending on repairs? Is it 1%? Is it like $12,000? Will we rather be spending $12,000 a year fixing it, or spending 1.2 million buying another one? What's the condition of it? Most of the ones that I looked at that are that age, I think it's 2000. This one is, or I think it is a 2000. It's reaching its 25-year life. Have very low mileage because they're not used all the time, right? What's the body like? What's the body shape? I know the firemen, they take care of their equipment. They're meticulous with it, so they keep it clean, they keep it washed, they keep everything nice on it, and they maintain it. I mean, there's provincial standards for maintenance that they have to meet. So it's probably in A1 shape. So when we look at that, we have to say, what is the actual number for repairs? Is it 12,000 a year, or is it maybe 5%? Now, 5% is 60,000 a year. So, we don't want to spend 60,000 a year on old equipment, on new, just maybe it's better to get the new one this time around. Or maybe we can make it last for another 5 years and keep that 1.2 million in the city bank account and use it for more pressing items, and then allocate, say 300,000 a year for the next 5 years. That's 1.5 million, because the 1.2 million will turn into 1.5 million real fast. So get that all set and have it ready for when we need to buy it. So these are the questions that should be asked, and I don't know. Maybe it's just better to buy the new one. I just don't know, and I don't have enough information. But that's what our city councilors should be asking. So great conversation, Gary. Thank you so much. He's a great guy, Gary Wilkins, and he always challenges me, and I love it because I watch this stuff pretty closely. And as much as city council should have answers, when somebody asks me something, I like to have answers too. But from a perspective of knowledge and taking into account what anybody else thinks, and making my argument, and if it's valid, it's valid. If it isn't, it isn't, right? So interesting stuff. Thanks, Gary. Oh God. So like I say, this weather is crappy. It's chilly out there, and is looking more seasonable for the next couple weeks. High in the 30s and low 40s. Heaven forbid snow flurries. They're calling for it. Whether we're going to see them or not, I don't know. But they are calling for that. And that's, I don't know. I really don't want to see that. But guess what? We have no choice in the matter. We're hitting that time of year. But so far, it's been nice. We crossed our fingers. It's been nice. Here, the Winter Festival of Lights is something to behold this year. If you guys have a chance, get down there and look at the Winter Festival of Lights, the displays. I got to take a drive through there. I heard it's very, very, very nice this year. So that's neat. Go down and see that. And I'm also going to take a drive down. Maybe this weekend I'll get out and take a drive down Queen Street at night. I want to see what they did with the lights, if it's pretty lit up and everything's pretty nice. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. But I'm going to find out, because I'm driving by one night and I'm going to check it out. That's the bottom line. So we'll see. I'll report back and see if they did a good job. And by the way, the Salvation Army kettles are out. They're back in stores for the Christmas season. And they'll be there till December 24th. So if you can find it in your heart to give and you see a kettle, drop a loonie or two in. Organizers in the Falls are hoping to raise $65,000 this year. That was their goal last year as well. They surpassed it, getting $72,000 when the final tally was in. And they're located at most of the main grocery stores in Niagara Falls, as well as LCBO stores. And they're going to be at Costco on starting December 4th. I think that's the date. But watch for them at Costco. And like I say, got some spare change floating around. Anything helps. Toss it in there to help out. And you can also use debit cards to donate in addition to cash. Funds raised from the Salvation Army Christmas campaign support various initiatives and community services. So you're helping out your community, and they do that throughout the year, of course, including their outreach food truck, which serves between 100 and 125 meals a night, and skyrocketed to over 200 meals several times during the summer. So that's a lot of meals out there that they provide. So it's a good thing. And if you're prone to want to volunteer, be a volunteer to assist them. Anyone over 14 can participate. So you high school students who are looking for community credits, service hours, right? You're welcome. Go and help the Salvation Army. And you just call 905 380 0695 to assist. And as well, the Sally Ann has a Christmas assistance program that assisted more than 300 children and more than 150 households with toys and gift cards for children and teens last year. Like I said, if you see a kettle and can afford a few bucks, drop them in. Christmas is a time for giving, and you can help make Christmas brighter for those that may be not as fortunate as yourself. Get out there and help out, donate, do whatever you can for the cause. I always like to drop, a fiver in the bucket, and when there's poppies, I buy, I try to buy $5 worth of poppies, throw $5 in there, grab a couple poppies or something. Every bit helps, right? Why not? What the heck? Okay, so something that I got a message. I'm gonna read this off. It was a message from one of my neighbors whose house watches or looks on the Millennium Trail Manor, the section from Morrison Street to Stanley Avenue that runs between Morrison and Stanley. And they're looking at the entrance on Morrison. And it kind of was disturbing, really. They messaged me to let me know there was a lot of people taking pictures of the Morrison Morrison entrance there, down in the Morrison Street entrance of the Millennium Trail Manor last week. And on Monday they were there again after there was a big. Now, this is what I'm being told, so I don't know. I never saw anything myself, and maybe somebody else knows something else. But they say there was a big heroin party that happened Saturday and Sunday night. The person thinks they were taking pictures of all the needles, bands, glass bottles, and remnants of their fires when they were down in there doing heroin. Now, when I got the message, they said that 60% of the mess had been cleaned up. There was an emergency crew there on Monday as well. Fire, police, and ambulance did a rescue of some kind, maybe an OD on the trail. I don't know. But this is disturbing if this kind of stuff is going down on Millennium Trail Manor, any part of it, especially because our citizens use that to walk their dogs, go for walks, walk up and down, and that kind of thing. And if this is going on in there, something has to be done right away. And I can't confirm any of this. This is just what somebody told me. But they were concerned enough to message me about it. And I don't know, cameras, something. There's something that's got to be done if this is going on. Police presence, some police can't drive down there, so I don't know how you patrol that. But I'll tell you one thing: if this is going on, I wouldn't want to be walking there at night with stuff like this going on that trail. I don't know. Does anybody use it at night? I don't think it's lit up. So this is pretty disturbing stuff. And if anybody from City Council is listening in, I mean, you might want to investigate this further. I know Lori Lococo listens in the odd time. But yeah, I heard this and I'm going, wow, like that's kind of disturbing if you ask me. That we have these trails we paid millions of dollars for that everybody wants to use, and we're going to be building another $12 million one. And this is going on. Maybe they better clean up the ones they got before they start making new ones. If this is going on, and at the current situation in our city, with all the encampments and all the people wandering around. There's a lot of people wandering around this city all the time. I have to think that this is not outside the realm of truth. Can't prove it. I haven't seen it. But if somebody's reporting it to me, they're not. They've walked down there and seen the paraphernalia and all that. I know. So they walk their dog there all the time. But maybe not. I mean, now that this is going on. So anyway, just a disturbing thing. If you have any comments, leave them on the video. Let me know what you think. I'm still working on the capital budget. I'm kind of going through it. The capital budget is $50,269,000 this year. Instead to focus on asset management and maintaining the city's aging infrastructure. And it says that 84% or $42.2 million of the budget is going towards that goal. I mean, there's 382 pages. So it's going to take me a little time to get through it. We'll get through it though. Just going to take me a little time. We will get through it. And I'm on page 83 now. I managed to get through 12 more pages. And, it sounds funny. 12 pages. What have you been doing? Well, I get at it when I can. And there's a lot of different line items to read in that. For example, on page 77, under recreation, culture, and facilities, I saw an entry for $26,700 for adjustable height workstation. Yeah, $26,700 for adjustable height workstations. It didn't say how many there were, and $25,000 for chairs. I mean, $25,000 is a lot for chairs. Although if you're buying these $2,000 chairs, yeah, that's 14 chairs, right? 15 chairs. 14, what? No, 12 and a half chairs. 12 and a half chairs? How do you figure that one out? And there are also beds, frames, and mattresses for $14,900 and leather rockers for $4,000. All items totaling $104,000. Now, throughout this 382 pages, there's all kinds of these entries. I'm just giving you page 77. Go to look at the report on the NiagaraFalls.ca website. Go to page 77. You'll see what I mean. And, your questions are always this. What are they? And are they really needed? Because adjustable height stations, can't we just have desks for people sitting at them working? Do they have to adjust, lift up so they can stand up, I guess, and sit down? I don't know. Is there something about safety or workplace hazard or whatever that makes this something that they have to have? I can't answer that question. And so when I see these entries, I just say, what are they, and are they really needed? They're my two questions. And going through it, looking at stuff like this, I mean, it doesn't sound like a lot, but going through it, when you start going through and you start adding up all these little entries, 25,000 here, 70,000 there, 80,000 here, 140,000 there, 104,000, they start adding up. And I'm sure we'll talk more about this on Monday, the 25th, before the city council meeting on the 26th of November. That's when they have the capital budget meeting, and we'll see what questions they ask. But I mean, the CAO, Jason Burgess, has been told to cut $1 million off this budget. So I don't know if $50 million is with his million or $50 million is without his million. So we have to stay tuned to see what they say about that. And I'd love to know where he cut the budget. I mean, to just say he cut $1 million off doesn't mean anything to me. Where'd you cut it, buddy? Where'd you cut it? You were given a mandate by city council. Where'd you cut the budget? Interesting. So I'm going to keep working through that, and hopefully I get it done by the end of next week. So on Monday, we can talk about it, but I'll be writing down different things I see, and maybe I'll do a tally at the end when about it. I don't know. So what else we got here? Okay, that's my public service announcements, really, and a little bit about the conversation I had with my buddy Gary Wilkins about the fire department. I urge everybody to look at the fire department budget. And if there was a Doge, Department of Government Efficiencies, I would definitely have them looking at that budget. I think there's a lot there, and that maybe a revamp of the way the fire department works in this modern age should be looked at. I think Jason Burgess agrees with me. He said that last year. I'm trying to cut money, but whenever I try to cut the fire department, you won't let me. And that's our biggest department with our most expensive department. So we'll see. Now, the latest target of vandals, and TikTok is being blamed for it, are bus shelters. Now, I can't even imagine this. But a TikTok challenge has people running around seeing how many bus shelters they can wreck. I mean, has anybody heard of this? I haven't seen it on TikTok myself, and I watch TikTok because there's a lot of stuff going on there about everything. I haven't seen this one yet. Now, police are trying to find businesses in the area that may have had cameras that witnessed these bus stops being damaged. And I don't get it. What kind of challenge is this? I mean, going out and vandalizing city property. Sure, you want to take Tide Pods and croak on the floor, go ahead. You want to snort condoms, go ahead. Whatever the other stupid things that they were telling people to do, running beside your car, singing or something, right? And stupid things like that, go ahead, do it. But don't go out and destroy public property taxpayer dollars have to pay for. So, of course, the taxpayers are going to be on the hook for these things, and these little angels of destruction and their wacky TikTok challenges, that has to end. And where's the parents? Where are the parents of these kids running around destroying these things? You know, like, I hope they catch them and they take them home. But you know what the parents are going to say? It's TikTok's fault. I mean, today's the blame game. Point fingers at everybody else except themselves, right? You want to know who's most responsible? Look in the mirror. So the next step they're going to look at is shatterproof glass, which can be 3 times as expensive as regular glass. Or they're going to have to mount cameras, but it still costs the taxpayers plenty, right? Taxpayers are always on the hook. When any of this happens, it's the taxpayers that are on the hook. Now, Niagara Transit Commissioner Bill Riley suggests contacting TikTok about the problem. You think TikTok cares? Listen, they'll take your order for Chinese food. They couldn't care less about shattered glass because all they care about is money. And when people are running around breaking these things and videotaping them and putting them on TikTok, it gets views, and TikTok gets views, and they make more money. So I hope they catch them, and I hope when they go to court that they're just not told not to do it again. I mean, I hope they get like a $10,000, something big. They have to pay for the bus shelter, which is, knowing the city, when they put stuff like this up, it's probably 10 grand. Then they got to pay another $10,000 fine and maybe do 6 months in the Hoosgow. I mean, these mindless idiots have to be stopped, and the only way you're going to stop them is punishment. The courts can't let it go. They got to do something. I mean, these people are mentally ill, right? And they got to get serious about crime when they deal with these people. They got to stop it right now. Or else, who pays? Us. Hey, here's another good idea. Here's a great idea, actually. I like this idea. You got a parking ticket in Niagara Falls? Did you get a parking ticket for $20, $30, whatever? Guess what? During the Christmas season, the city's running the Toys for Tickets program. That's right. Instead of paying that parking ticket you got, run yourself down to City Hall, bring toys that are equal to or greater than the actual ticket you received, drop them off at City Hall, and that settles the ticket. Now, one caveat, you also have to have the receipt for the toys to prove their value. So You go to City Hall, or you go to the McBain Center between the hours of what, 8 and 4 or something like that. I think 8 and 4 they're open till regular business hours, right? And you can do this for any tickets that were issued between November 1st and December 4th. So if you don't feel like giving the city money, take your money and give it to kids, right? So you get a $25 parking ticket, don't pay them. Bring in a couple nice toys that they can give away to kids. I like that idea. This is probably a nice way to do it, to be honest with you. I like it. So you just, the money this year goes to Project Share and Salvation Army. And both agencies suggest the greatest need lies in the 12 to 15 age group, and suggestions for gifts if you're not sure what to take down to City Hall to pay your ticket. That includes movies, music, certificates for movies, certificates for music, and clothing or gift cards. So all donations are welcome, even without the parking ticket. If you just want to give, just go to City Hall, tell them you want to give $20. Even without a ticket, you can give. It doesn't matter, right? So yeah, you got till December 4th to take advantage of that program. If you got a ticket, you haven't paid it yet. Take it down to City Hall, bring some equal value of toys or greater than, and you're good to go. And staying in the Christmas season, this is a Niagara Falls show today. We're doing a lot of Niagara Falls stuff, which is great. So people know there is a lot of good things happening in Niagara Falls. But don't forget the Niagara Falls Lions Club will be having their annual Christmas tree sale at their Drummond Road location again this year. Every year they give away Christmas trees, and this year's no exception. And no, they're not giving away. I shouldn't say they're giving away. They're selling Christmas trees. They're not giving them away. Have you seen the price of them? 75 fazools. I think the last real Christmas tree I bought, well, I didn't buy one because I have never bought one in my life. That was bought by our family, let's put it that way, was probably in the 70s. Ever since then, I've had the artificial trees. And if you want to get that nice woodsy smell, you just hang up some pine scent things around the house. You got it. But a lot of people like real trees. And the Lions Club has 400 Fraser fir trees ranging between 6 and 8 feet. And it's on location at the Drummond Road Lions Club. And I think they're going to be there by November 16th. So they're already there because today's the 21st. And they sell for $75 each. And that's a tradition. A lot of people that I know, they like natural trees. They'd rather go buy a tree, or some even march out into the woods and cut it down themselves and drag it out. And they like it. And I must admit, there's nothing better than an artificial or a real tree and that nice pine smell in your living room for the holidays. So the club has been selling trees for over 50 years now. They've been selling them for as long as I can remember, with all the monies raised going to local charities and Lions Club's initiatives, including Camp Dorset, which supports people on dialysis and lets families take a holiday together at the camp, which can cater to their needs. And they're open 4 to 8 p.m. Monday through Friday, 8 to 8 on Saturday and Sunday, until the trees run out, I guess. Go and get your tree today. Thanks to Rafe Sateri from the Review for the great article about that. Now, I want to get to my second sponsor, Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. And I shouldn't be talking about it because I'll probably end up going there for a pizza tonight. I'm a pizza guy. You know that. Everybody knows that if they know me. And lately, my choice of pizza has been Victoria Avenue's Pete's Pizza. And people say, well, they're your sponsor. That's why. No. I had a great conversation with the owner, Mike, who, by the way, worked in an Italian restaurant for 15 years. I don't know. I'm a pizza snob, buddy. And if I don't like your pizza, you can't advertise. You can't sponsor the show. Sorry, but I can't advocate something I don't like. Hey, I went incognito, dressed as Liz, and got a pizza. And I loved it. It's fantastic. And I've been getting them from there lately, although pasta fresca I like too. other good pizzerias, but this one is the one that I go to now. It's been my go-to pizza. That's how much I like it. So what you got to do is call 905-374-2222 and say, I want a pizza. Or go to Victoria or pizzavictoria.ca. And you can order one right online. And believe me, Mike uses Saputo mozzarella with brick cheese, that blend. He uses the Mancini family recipe for sauce and crust. And the Mancinis opened this pizza 40 years ago. They franchised it out around the Niagara region. It's good. And they have a full menu. They have a steak and cheese poutine, regular poutine, you name it. They've got something that will please you on that menu. Panzerotti. What else do they have on there? Oh, steak and cheese subs. They have all kinds of different things, and they're very good. And I know their wings are bellissimo. Their wings are really good. I had them a few times, and I really like them. So, Pizza Victoria Avenue, that's where you want to go. Their hours, they've extended their hours to midnight during the weekend to 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. So those late night munchies, you can grab something to eat. And believe me, there's not a lot open that late in the morning. So get out and see my buddy Mike at Pete's Pizza. Grab yourself a nice pizza. Tell him Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. And thank you for sponsoring the show, Victoria Avenue Pizza. And thank you to our viewers and our listeners for supporting our sponsors. They're important to the show. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Now, let's see here. Strangely enough, other than crime, and I'm tired of talking about crime, a lot of sex offenders lately, a lot of human trafficking stories. But everything other than that is pretty quiet in Niagara Falls as far as city council goes and regional council go. Although tomorrow we're talking region. Chris Regis is coming in, and we're going to talk about the region budget. The numbers are coming out, and they're ugly for us. They're ugly. Chris will be telling you more about that tomorrow, and I'll have some numbers for you. But around the world, things are heating up, and it's getting serious, folks. I mean, no more joking around here. I mean, the Ukraine and Russia, their war has escalated to the point which may be the point of no return. This week, President Biden gave the green light to Zelensky in the Ukraine using long-range American-made missiles. He did it launching 6 into Russian territory. Now, this is a huge escalation. Previously, only short-range missiles were available. Biden did not want to let them go, but he claims in response to Russia bringing in 10,000 North Korean troops that he's sending these missiles over. And I swear to God that these guys are looking for a world war. This deep state, this Biden administration with Blinken, they're looking for a world war. They've been sent to start a world war. And of course, in direct response to this, Putin has altered his nuclear strategy and says that any attack on Russia by Ukraine forces using long-range missiles provided by the US or NATO will be considered an act of war that has been launched on Russia by those entities. That's some pretty serious stuff. Putin vows to respond. Everyone is waiting as the war escalates. The U.S. Embassy in the Ukraine has been evacuated. The situation is tense. Now, Poland has concerned about what's going on to the point that they've sent their South Korean-made K2 Panther tanks to the border with Belarus. Soviet's biggest economic and political partner is Belarus. In case things get out of hand, they're going to be there. Everybody's starting to posture. Now, why would Biden do this? Well, he didn't do anything. He don't even know where he is. Did you see him at the summit in Brazil? He's wandering out to the Amazon forest. They couldn't get him for the group picture. They didn't know where he was. He missed it. So it's the deep state that's doing it. They're antagonizing both Iran and Russia to respond to their pokes. And cooler heads have prevailed so far. So far, everything's in a holding pattern. But my opinion, if you want my opinion on it, with Trump, with the Trump mandate being dropped on November 5th, the House, the Senate, popular vote in the White House, I don't think these countries are going to do anything stupid because they know if they do, Trump's not going to put up with it. January 20th is going to be D-Day for them, believe me. If they lay down a tactical nuke in the Ukraine, the response is going to be horrific for them. And they just don't want to do it. Concern is, though, in 12 minutes, they could have a missile aimed at Washington, D.C., or any other place in the United States, or Canada, for that matter. So, this is serious business here, folks. This is serious business. And I think cooler heads are going to prevail because, Trump is going to be taken over, but you never know. All it takes is one thing to happen, and it could all go off. It could all go off. So hopefully they hang tight, and Trump can get in there and negotiate something even before he officially takes office. Although, really, right now the Trump strategy is already working its way into the system, even though he's not president. People are looking at it and they're seeing the writing on the wall, and they're starting to react. It was really freaky yesterday when the emergency broadcast system came on. And we're sitting here doing the video for Absolutely, and all of a sudden it came on the phone, cut the video off, and, of course, you can't read it. We're in the middle of the show. We didn't know what it was. But it's strange that they tested the emergency broadcast system yesterday. There's growing concern in the United States. Yeah. Crazy. People are taking it seriously. They're looking for their shelters, where they're going to go. Some people, other people are just laughing. I mean, they don't even think about it. They just either don't care or they're just oblivious to what's going on in the world. But it may have a profound effect on them. They better get ready. They better get ready. That's all I can tell them. Now, staying in the U.S. After the election here, the Democrats do not want to give up power. They're doing everything they can to disrupt the will of the people and have set up a shadow government, appointing left-wing loonies to positions much like Trump is doing now. So Trump's forming his cabinet, the shadow government they're calling themselves, like Jody Burdett in Niagara Falls. They're setting up their shadow government. And we've always heard there was a shadow government running the show. Now they're admitting it because we know Biden hasn't been. So it's right out there. Now they're exposed. I don't know what they're up to, but they've always been there to impede and obstruct. That's what they do. But the good thing is Trump has the ultimate mandate. He got it on November 5th. What he said that he wants to do, the people have agreed, and they voted for him in a landslide. So, I mean, when you look at the situation, you've got these Democrats that are acting up. But at the end of the day, the midterms are going to be coming up in 2 years. And believe me, with Trump's mandate, if these guys don't want to be involved with it, they're not getting elected again. They're going to lose all their elections. So they kind of have to fall in line. The people have spoken. Trump has to achieve his goals and the goals that the people elected him to achieve. And we're seeing that happen right now. And I've got to keep an eye on my little microphone here to make sure everything's all right. Hello there. Hello there. Now, the woke and go broke crowd clowns are also revving up in the United States. Those left-wing lunatic outfits. So the NFL wants to ban the Trump dance. That's right. Players all over the U.S. have initiated what they are calling the Trump dance. I don't know if you've seen this yet. I don't watch football, but I watch all kinds of news programs and know what's going on. And after big plays, these players are doing that Trump dance. You know, You know how the dance that he does? You know, like, and the NFL wants to ban it. No, they wouldn't ban a guy taking a knee for the national anthem. They won't ban that. It's all right to show disrespect to the national anthem or even the flag, but don't Trump dance. You cannot Trump dance. That's a no-no. So, yeah, this is the guy's Trump dancing. They're banning it. The NFL's banning it. Forget about it. What a bunch of dysfunctional people in this league. I'm telling you. I love the Trump dance. I may just start watching football again to see it. There you go. Anyway, and the Trump dance. That's the NFL. Talking about Trump, he's moving fast to fill his cabinet positions, and the left-wing loonies and media aren't liking it. Tom Homan, border czar, already has the crazies crying with the sanctuary city mayors and councils passing laws to keep the feds from deporting their illegal criminal aliens and raiding their prisons to send them back to where they came from. So they want to block the feds from doing this. Can you imagine governors and mayors of cities going on national TV saying they want to block the government from sending illegal criminal aliens, the ones that killed Laken Riley, that sort, and they want to keep them in their cities. They don't want to get them out of there. I don't get it. These people are whacked, seriously. And the states are harboring, and the cities are harboring criminals and murderers, gang members from the ruthless Tren de Agua, and they're protecting these guys. What kind of people run these cities? These mayors, are they whacked? Oh, they got to be crazy. They got to be crazy. But guess what, kiddies? They are not going to get their way. Immigration is a federal program. I don't care if they declare their states sanctuary cities. They say they're not going to let them in. The bottom line is it's a federal program. Immigration is a federal program. Department of Homeland Security will be involved. Border Patrol, the ICE agents will be involved. U.S. Marshals will be involved. In other agencies, three-letter agencies you maybe never even heard of, including the military, to reverse what Biden and Harris have done to the country. It's going to go down whether Newsom or any other governor, mayor, or council like it or not. And it can't come soon enough, to be honest with you. You've been following the Laken Riley trial at all, you'll know what I mean. And if you haven't, oh boy, it brings tears to your eyes what they did with this illegal who should have been in jail but was shipped out of New York City to Georgia, did to this girl. It's for no reason. For no reason. Now, the order of the day in the U.S. is if the left-wing media and loonies hate who Trump picks and what he is doing, then he's on the right track. He's picking the right people. And what they're doing is the correct way to do it. Yep. That's the way you got to see it. If they hate it, it's the right way to do it, and it's the right thing to do. Of course, the left wing, these guys are all starting to implode anyway. I mean, Harris has not been seen for weeks. Biden's wandering around the Amazon. The left is pointing fingers. Big names on the left have disappeared, and the ones that are still around, like Bill Clinton, are chastising the Democrats for moving to the radical left and losing their base. And Clinton says they have to quit saying the economy is great because it's a lie. And that claim has been made by the whole Harris election cycle. She said the economy's on the rebound, but it's all a lie. No, it hasn't. It's getting worse. And he says that the economy may not be great, but that doesn't mean that people have to vote for Trump. Well, he found out, ex-President Clinton, that they don't have to vote for Harris. They can vote for Trump, and they did. And you can't have somebody that was up there saying that when people asked her about the economy, she's telling them that she grew up in a middle class family. I mean, that's just nonsense. So we got another couple months of Biden, January and December and January, basically, and then finally he's out of there. Everything's been uncovered. Their lies have been uncovered, and basically, help is on the way. So don't fret, my American friends. Help is on the way. The cavalry's on the way. You're going to get the help you need now. Let's go back to Canada. Every reports that Canada is building encampments to harbor the millions of illegals that are expected once Trump issues the order to remove them from the country. They know that Trump's going to issue this as soon as he gets there and gets his left hand on the Bible and swears. So they're going to be leaving early. And the border czar has already told them, you're going. There's no fooling around. You're going. You're going to be leaving. So pack your bags and get going now before we find you and get you out of there. Well, a lot of them don't want to go back to where they came from. So you know where they're going to head, north to Canada. And Canada, they think Canada likes these illegals. Several years back, Trudeau sent out an open invitation on X for them to come to Canada. We'll welcome you. And they took him to his word and came. And he brought him across Roxham Road and got him through every border he could. And our mounted police were carrying their bags over the borders for him. So they know he's going to let them in. They know he'll let them in. And they're building encampments to house them when they come. Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, Vancouver. They're actually building encampments for them. And this isn't a joke. Look it up. I mean, crimes jump dramatically, even in our province, in our city. The price of goods and services have escalated dramatically. And this homeless situation has reached epidemic proportions since we've opened our borders. Now we're going to take on unvetted immigrants and criminals. I mean, just sit back and use some common sense. Why do you think Trump wants to get rid of them? There's a reason Trump wants to get rid of them. And we're going to let him in Canada? Come on. This is ridiculous. We have to close our borders too. I mean, I personally think there should be a 5-year freeze on any immigration unless they're legal and they've been vetted and they're a trade or a service we need. Doctors, PSWs, engineers, tradespeople, even workers. We need workers. But they can't just come in illegally as refugees or whatever. Show up at the border and claim refugee status. No, they got to be vetted. They got to go through the proper channels. It's not fair to those who sit and wait and get here properly. And it's not fair to those who are looking for jobs and can't find them in that we just allow these guys in. From day one, they get money, they get citizenship, they get health care, they get everything. And we're seeing the problem in Niagara Falls now. So I mean, this isn't new. It's not anything new or something that nobody knew about. So I mean, we have to get rid of Trudeau. We've got to vote him out. We need an election. Jimmy Dollywall, come on, let's go. Vote of non-confidence. Have an election and he's gone. And then Pierre Poilievre can get in there and straighten everything out. And hopefully he works with Trump and has the same mindset as Trump and sets up a Doge, Department of Government Efficiency. That wouldn't hurt either in this country because there's a lot of money that's being blown. Trudeau's caught up in a scandal right now where he's been giving out millions and millions of dollars for this green initiative to his buddies. Some who never even started business. They just put together a proposal saying this is what we're going to do. Took the money, Never started it. He's under investigation for that fraud. So it's time we did that. We got to get rid of this guy and straighten this country out too. And now's our opportunity because public sentiment is with Trump and the things that he's going to do. You don't have to go far to find out how to run a campaign. And I don't even care if it's Niagara Falls. We really do need a Department of Government Efficiency. And I talked about it at the beginning of the show. And we'll continue to talk about it as we get through January for the operations budget that's coming down. Talking about the capital budget now, the parking budget, and operations budget. So these are the things we got to talk about. These are the things that we got to watch. And ultimately, these are the things that we have to straighten out. We can't pay more taxes. Things have got to be run more efficiently. We've got to get rid of the waste, and we got to get rid of the government bloat. When Biden and Harris say they've had 150,000 new jobs, they're all government jobs. Sure, they've got new jobs, but they're all government jobs, and they're all working on taxpayer dollars. So did we really hire anybody? Yeah, well, sure they did. But is it doing us any good? No. They hired 87,000 agents in the IRS to go after the middle class. Is this the mandate of any government? No. Of course not. They're going to be gone. Musk and those guys are going to get rid of them. And that's what we need to do in Canada. We got to straighten things out here. Anyway, that's it for today. That's it for today. I never got too upset really today. It's been a pretty calm day. I want to thank Gary Wilkins for the great conversation. I want to thank somebody else too that I had a great conversation with about the economy and taxing the rich and everything on Facebook. I hope they watch my show. It's I won't mention the woman's name, but very, very nice, great conversation. And we had a great discussion about taxing the rich and that kind of thing. So this is the kind of conversations we need to have. The more that are involved, the better, because we gotta wake up. We got to start doing things right before we're so far gone we can't fix it. Even doing things right won't fix it. Tomorrow, Chris Regis is in. As long as he doesn't get tied up, he's going to come in and we're going to talk about the regional budget. And I've got some numbers written down. I've been watching that too, not as close as Chris probably, but I have been watching it. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. And oh man, it's going to be a tough ride this time through the regional budget and the city budget when it's all said and done. We've been tapped. We're tapping out to these governments that raise taxes and cause inflation and pick our pockets. It's very, very tiring. We got to stop it. Stop the insanity. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of 4680Q Radio. Please support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop and Victoria Avenue Pete's Pizza. We'll see you tomorrow with Finally Friday. Chris Regis in the house. Regional Council, that's what we're going to be talking about at noon. As usual, support our sponsors. Smash the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a thumbs down. Leave your comments so we can mention them on air here and talk about them. And let's get to 100 subscribers before the end of the year. I'm at 6870 now. Another 25, 30 people. Come on, everybody. Share this with your friends. Talk about it. Let's go. Let's make Niagara Falls great again. I love it. I love it. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow at noon with Finally Friday. Ciao, ciao.